What if I told you that the crushing afternoon fatigue, the stiff joints when you step out of bed, and those brutal leg cramps waking you up at 2 a.m. aren't an inevitable part of growing older? Most people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are told by modern medicine that slowing down is simply the normal cost of aging. They hand you prescription bottles or tell you to drink neon-colored, chemically synthetic sports drinks loaded with artificial dyes, neurotoxic sweeteners, and lab-manufactured sodium that actually inflame your cellular membranes. But what if the real secret to restoring the resilient energy, muscular endurance, and deep cellular hydration of your youth has been sitting right in front of us for thousands of years, documented throughout Scripture and growing naturally in God's pharmacy? Today, we are uncovering 10 God-given electrolyte superfoods that stop age-related fatigue at the cellular level. These are ancient harvest plants and living foods that your body recognizes instantly, bypassing the sluggish digestion of older age to push vital potassium, magnesium, and living water straight into your depleted muscles. Stick around, because plant number 4 is a forgotten bitter root used by biblical travelers to survive extreme liver congestion and dehydration, containing a mineral profile that rivals any modern IV bag. And plant number 7 is a fresh herb mentioned in ancient Near Eastern medicine that strips toxic heavy metals and restores cellular voltage within minutes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we connect biblical wisdom with evidence-backed healthcare every single week. Let's step into the ancient pantry and reclaim your vitality. 1. Pomegranate, the biblical engine of cellular hydration. Let us begin our ranking with one of the most revered superfoods in Scripture, a fruit so biologically powerful it adorned the robes of the high priests and was celebrated across the ancient world as a symbol of perpetual renewal: the pomegranate. As we age, our blood vessels naturally lose elasticity, acting like narrowed, rusted plumbing that prevents oxygen and electrolytes from reaching deep muscle tissue. This circulatory blockage is the hidden reason you feel that heavy, dragging exhaustion by mid-afternoon. A single cup of fresh pomegranate arils delivers over 400 milligrams of natural potassium alongside trace magnesium. But what makes this God-given fruit truly miraculous for older adults is its extraordinary concentration of punicalagins and dietary nitrates. These bioactive compounds stimulate your endothelial cells to generate nitric oxide, literally widening your circulatory pipelines. When your blood vessels open up, potassium and magnesium are rushed directly across cell membranes, fueling the sodium-potassium pumps that stop agonizing muscle spasms and restore ATP energy production within minutes. Traditional healers across the Holy Land used pomegranate nectar to revive laborers exhausted by the scorching sun. Modern clinical trials published in sports nutrition journals now confirm what biblical culture knew empirically. Consuming pomegranate accelerates muscle recovery, flushes out metabolic waste, and reverses the cellular dehydration that drives age-related fatigue. Throw away the synthetic sports drinks. This is God's original cardiovascular tonic. 2. Olive leaf and fruit, the ancient cardiovascular shield. Let us move to the second pillar of our biblical recovery pantry, a tree so saturated with divine purpose that it was the very first plant to signal the restoration of the earth after the Great Flood: the olive tree. Throughout Scripture, the olive is a symbol of peace, anointing, and robust vitality. But if you are over 50 and find yourself waking up with stiff, heavy limbs, or if you feel a steady tightness in your chest after climbing a flight of stairs, your body is sending you a structural SOS. As we age, our arterial walls naturally begin to lose their youthful elasticity. They become rigid, resembling old, rusted plumbing pipes that force your heart to pump twice as hard just to deliver oxygen to your extremities. This arterial resistance is the primary driver of age-related fatigue and dangerous spikes in blood pressure. While most people only reach for olive oil, they completely overlook the most concentrated source of cardiovascular electrolytes on the tree: the olive leaf. Olive leaves contain a highly bioactive, bitter compound called oleuropein, alongside a rich matrix of calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Calcium is the master spark plug that triggers every single muscle contraction, including the rhythmic beating of your heart. But without adequate magnesium and potassium, that calcium remains trapped inside your cells, causing them to stay in a state of chronic, low-grade tension. This is why your calves feel like tightly wound iron bands at night, and why your joints feel locked in place when you wake up. Traditional Mediterranean communities did not suffer from the rampant cardiovascular fatigue we see today because they consumed olive leaf infusions as a daily tonic. Modern clinical research has finally validated this ancient practice, demonstrating that olive leaf extract acts as a natural calcium channel blocker. It gently relaxes the smooth muscle walls of your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow effortlessly and dropping your blood pressure naturally. When your circulation is restored, vital nutrients and oxygen can finally reach your tired tissues again. It is like flushing out a clogged drain line. Suddenly, the pressure drops and energy returns to every corner of your body. Sip olive leaf tea in the morning or include cured organic olives in your meals. You are not just eating a fruit, you are engaging a biblical shield of cellular protection. 3. Fig, the wilderness glycogen and muscle restorer. As we push deeper into God's ancient medicine chest, we encounter a tree so foundational to biblical history that it was the very first plant mentioned by name in the Garden of Genesis, and whose sweet harvest sustained King David's warriors during their long campaigns in the wilderness: the fig tree. If you are over 50, you have likely noticed a frustrating shift in your body. You eat the same foods, yet you feel an unrelenting muscular weakness, a soft, dragging heaviness in your thighs when you try to walk, or a loss of grip strength in your hands. This is not just getting older. This is a condition known as sarcopenia, compounded by a major biological bottleneck. As we age, our cells become resistant to insulin, making it incredibly difficult for our muscles to absorb and store glycogen, the clean fuel they need to contract. When your muscle fuel tanks are empty, your body is forced to run on adrenaline, leaving you in a state of chronic, exhausted burnout. To break this cycle of age-related fatigue, your body requires a precise combination of fast-acting cellular fuel and high-potassium mineral signaling. This is exactly what God packed into the humble fig. A single cup of dried figs provides a staggering 1,013 milligrams of highly bioavailable potassium, alongside meaningful amounts of magnesium and calcium. But the true miracle of the fig lies in its natural, unrefined sugars, glucose and fructose, which are delivered alongside a dense matrix of soluble fiber. This fiber acts as a natural speed governor, slowing down digestion so that the sugars do not cause a damaging blood sugar spike. Instead, they are escorted gently and steadily straight into your depleted muscle tissue. Traditional Middle Eastern and biblical cultures understood this energy-restoring mechanism intuitively. In the book of Samuel, when David's men found an Egyptian slave collapsing from starvation and extreme dehydration in the desert, they did not give him modern energy drinks or synthetic powders. They gave him a cake of pressed, dried figs. The scriptures record that as soon as he ate, his spirit revived. Modern athletic trials have replicated this exact ancient phenomenon, proving that dried figs restore muscle glycogen and cellular hydration after physical exertion just as effectively as commercial energy gels, but with the added benefit of rich polyphenols that reduce muscle inflammation. If you want to stop at the afternoon muscle drain, keep organic dried figs in your pantry. Eat 2 or 3 when you feel that heavy fatigue setting in. You are not just eating a sweet snack, you are feeding your muscles with the exact wilderness fuel designed to revive the human spirit. 4. Dandelion root, the liver hydration catalyst. Let us venture into the fourth part of our ancient, God-given pantry. As we age, our bodies face a quiet, internal crisis that is rarely talked about in modern doctors' offices: the gradual dehydration of our vital organs. You can drink glasses of plain water all day, yet still feel a dry, persistent fatigue deep in your bones. This is because hydration is not simply about pouring water down your throat, it is about cellular assimilation. If your liver is congested, sluggish, and burdened by decades of environmental toxins and synthetic medications, your body cannot efficiently process water or distribute essential minerals. The liver is your body's master filtration plant, and when it is clogged, your cellular energy drops. To unlock true, deep tissue hydration, we must turn to a plant that modern suburbanites dismissively spray with chemicals, but which God designed to heal the soil and the human body alike: the humble dandelion root. The root of the dandelion is a bitter powerhouse packed with sesquiterpene lactones, compounds that immediately stimulate the liver to produce bile. Bile is not just for digesting fats, it is the natural broom that sweeps toxins out of your liver and gallbladder. When you clear this congestion, your liver is freed to perform its critical metabolic tasks, including the conversion of thyroid hormones that regulate your overall energy and body temperature. But the electrolyte miracle of dandelion root lies in its unique relationship with potassium. Most synthetic diuretics prescribed by modern medicine flush water out of the body, but dangerously deplete your potassium levels, leading to severe muscle cramps, heart palpitations, and profound weakness. Dandelion root acts as a natural, gentle diuretic, but because it is exceptionally rich in natural potassium, it replenishes your mineral stores simultaneously. It coaxes your body to release excess fluid retention, the swelling in your ankles and under your eyes, without sacrificing the vital electrolytes your heart and muscles need to function. Traditional biblical-era herbalists valued bitter roots as essential spring tonics to cleanse the blood after long, dormant winters. Modern science confirms that these bitter compounds prime your entire digestive tract to absorb nutrients more effectively. Drinking a warm, roasted dandelion root infusion in the afternoon is like giving your liver a fresh start. It washes away the cellular debris, cools systemic inflammation, and floods your system with the clean, natural electrolytes required to lift the heavy fog of age-related exhaustion. 5. Nettle leaf, the joint-smoothing mineral balm. If you are over 60, every step you take can sometimes feel like walking on dry sand. Your knees grind, your lower back aches with a dull, radiating stiffness, and your fingers swell until even opening a jar of preserves feels like an impossible task. Modern doctors will tell you that your cartilage has simply worn down and that you must accept chronic inflammation as a permanent resident in your skeletal frame. But this is a tragic misunderstanding of cellular mineral mechanics. As we age, our joint tissue becomes highly acidic, corroded by metabolic waste and systemic inflammation. The synovial fluid that is supposed to lubricate your joints, acting like the smooth oil in your car's engine, dries up. To rebuild this fluid and extinguish the fire of arthritis, your body does not need synthetic pain relievers. It needs a massive infusion of raw, bioavailable minerals. It needs the nettle leaf, one of the most powerful, mineral-dense plants ever designed by God. The stinging nettle is a plant that most people avoid because of its painful bite, yet within its fierce defenses lies a therapeutic treasure. Nettle leaf contains an extraordinary, highly concentrated profile of potassium, calcium, magnesium, and boron. Boron is a trace mineral that older adults desperately lack, which is directly responsible for guiding calcium into your bones rather than letting it deposit in your joints and arteries. But the real electrolyte secret of nettle leaf is its rich concentration of bioactive silica. Silica is the structural mortar of your body. It is the exact molecule your cells use to synthesize collagen and rebuild the smooth, rubbery cushions between your joints. When you drink a strong infusion of nettle leaf, you are flushing your joints with an alkaline mineral wash that actively neutralizes acidic buildup. Traditional herbalists in biblical times used nettle to restore blood quality, soothe gout, and ease the painful joints of elder patriarchs. Modern clinical trials have confirmed that nettle leaf extract is so effective at reducing joint inflammation that patients who use it are able to slash their doses of toxic NSAID pain medications by over 70%. Stop letting joint stiffness dictate your independence. Drink dried nettle leaf tea daily, allowing it to steep for at least 20 minutes to release its deep mineral wealth. You will feel the grinding heat in your joints slowly begin to cool, replaced by the fluid, effortless movement God always intended for your body. 6. Barley grass, the ancient cellular energy restorer. As we proceed to the sixth part of our journey through God's green pharmacy, we must shine a light on a plant that has sustained human endurance since the very dawn of agriculture, a grain so highly prized in antiquity that it was mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy as one of the 7 sacred species of the Promised Land, young barley grass. If you are navigating your 60s or 70s, you may find that your physical battery drains far too quickly. You wake up with decent intentions, but by 10 a.m., a heavy, leaden exhaustion settles over your entire body, and your muscles feel as though they are draped in invisible weights. This chronic drain occurs because the mitochondria, the tiny power stations inside your cells that generate ATP energy, are progressively slowing down. Without active mitochondrial spark plugs, no amount of sleep or caffeine can lift the veil of deep fatigue. To restart this cellular engine, your body requires raw chlorophyll, living enzymes, and a complete matrix of trace minerals that matches the biochemistry of your blood. This is precisely what young barley grass delivers. Often consumed today as a vibrant green juice powder, young barley grass is harvested at its nutritional peak before the grain actually develops. It contains a highly bioavailable profile of potassium, magnesium, calcium, and iron, all held in a perfect colloidal suspension. These minerals do not require complex digestion. They are absorbed through the intestinal walls almost instantly, flooding your bloodstream with the exact elements required to fuel the sodium-potassium pumps in your muscle cells. But the true hidden miracle of barley grass is its concentration of superoxide dismutase, SOD. SOD is an extraordinarily powerful enzyme that acts as your body's primary antioxidant shield. It seeks out and neutralizes the highly destructive free radicals that damage mitochondrial membranes and accelerate the aging of your muscle tissue. When you consume barley grass, you are not just drinking a green supplement, you are actively sweeping away the metabolic waste that is suffocating your cellular power plants. Ancient Israelite harvesters and Roman gladiators relied on barley as their primary source of strength and stamina. They knew that this resilient plant kept their muscles supple and their endurance unbroken under the scorching heat. To integrate this biblical powerhouse into your daily routine, stir a single teaspoon of organic barley grass juice powder into a glass of cool water first thing in the morning. It carries a clean, grassy flavor that immediately alerts your digestive system and sends a rush of oxygenating chlorophyll throughout your body. You will feel a steady, clean wave of physical energy wash over you, not the jittery temporary spike of caffeine, but the deep, quiet revival of cells that have finally been given the structural fuel they need to thrive. 7. Coriander/cilantro, the heavy metal detoxing hydrator. As we step into the 7th part of our journey through God's green pharmacy, we must address a silent, modern saboteur that is actively robbing older Americans of their daily vitality. If you are over 60 and find yourself struggling with a thick, stubborn brain fog that makes you forget why you walked into a room, or if you experience a metallic taste in your mouth and persistent, unexplained joint stiffness, you are likely suffering from subclinical heavy metal toxicity. Over a lifetime of 60, 70, or 80 years, our bodies naturally accumulate microscopic deposits of lead, mercury, aluminum, and cadmium from the municipal water we drink, the cookware we use, and the industrial chemicals in our food supply. These heavy metals act like microscopic rust inside your nervous system. They settle into your tissues, disrupt cellular communication, and physically block the sodium-potassium pumps that generate cellular energy and muscle movement. When your cells are crowded with toxic metals, they cannot absorb water or vital electrolytes, leaving you in a state of chronic, toxic dehydration. To break this metallic stranglehold, God created a powerful aromatic herb with a molecular structure designed specifically to bind to these poisons and escort them out of your body. Coriander, commonly known in its fresh leafy form as cilantro. Cilantro is far more than a simple culinary garnish. It is a highly active, natural chelating agent. The volatile oils and phytochemical compounds in fresh cilantro leaves possess the unique biochemical ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside, they bind tightly to toxic heavy metal ions stored in your brain and spinal tissues, pulling them loose from your cellular receptors. But what makes cilantro a true electrolyte miracle is its mineral density. As it strips toxic metals out of your cells, it immediately backfills those vacant cellular receptors with highly concentrated, bioavailable potassium, magnesium, and calcium. This simultaneous detox and replenish mechanism restores the natural electrical voltage of your cells, allowing them to finally absorb water and maintain proper fluid balance once again. Traditional biblical-era cultures in the Near East utilized wild coriander not only to preserve meats, but as a powerful digestive and systemic blood purifier. They recognized that this clean, bright herb had a profound cooling effect on the body and restored physical stamina to those who had become sluggish and pale. To experience this deep cellular detoxification, blend a generous handful of fresh organic cilantro leaves into a green recovery smoothie with cucumber and lemon juice, or use the crushed seeds, coriander, in warm herbal infusions. You are not just adding flavor to your diet, you are unleashing a cellular magnet designed by God to draw out the deep-seated poisons of the modern world and restore the clean, liquid vitality of your youth. 8. Hibiscus, the cooling blood pressure botanical. As we step into the 8th part of our ancient God-given pantry, we must address a silent crisis that affects over 70% of adults over the age of 60, cardiovascular exhaustion and chronic high blood pressure. If you are navigating your golden years, you may frequently experience a sudden, warm flushing in your face, a dull throbbing at the base of your skull in the morning, or a persistent, heavy tiredness that makes even a simple walk in the garden feel like climbing a mountain. Modern medicine's immediate response is to place you on synthetic beta blockers or pharmaceutical diuretics. While these medications are designed to force your blood pressure down, they often leave you feeling completely drained, dizzy, and physically exhausted because they strip your body of vital water-soluble minerals. They act like a harsh chemical emergency brake on your cardiovascular system rather than restoring the natural, flexible flow that God designed your blood vessels to have. To cool the heat of high blood pressure and restore cellular energy without draining your vital mineral reserves, we must turn to a brilliant crimson flower celebrated in traditional Near Eastern and African medicine for thousands of years, the hibiscus, known anciently as carcata. The deep red petals of the hibiscus flower are saturated with a dense profile of natural potassium, magnesium, and organic acids. But the true, scientifically documented miracle of hibiscus is its high concentration of anthocyanins and polyphenols. These natural compounds act as gentle, organic angiotensin-converting enzyme, ACE inhibitors. This means they naturally prevent your blood vessels from constricting, allowing your arteries to relax, widen, and soften. Instead of forcing water out of your body like synthetic drugs, hibiscus gently coaxes your kidneys to release excess sodium while actively retaining potassium and magnesium. This maintains the precise cellular fluid balance your heart and muscles need to function without cramping or collapsing into fatigue. Traditional healers across the biblical lands in Egypt used iced or warm hibiscus infusions specifically to cool the body during dry heat stress, soothe physical exhaustion, and support the circulation of elderly elders. Modern clinical trials published in major nutritional journals have confirmed this ancient wisdom, showing that drinking 3 cups of organic hibiscus tea daily reduces systolic blood pressure just as effectively as standard pharmaceutical medications, but with absolutely zero side effects. To reclaim your arterial flexibility, steep dried organic hibiscus flowers in hot water until it turns a deep ruby red. Drink it warm or chilled with a slice of fresh lemon. You will feel an immediate cooling wave of relief wash over your chest, a gentle lowering of systemic pressure, and the return of the calm, natural stamina your body was built to run on. 9. Chicory root, the prebiotic kidney hydrator. As we move into the 9th part of our ancient God-given pantry, we must address a silent organ drain that quietly robs older adults of their strength, leaving them to drag through their days with a heavy, unrefreshing weariness. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you may have noticed that your body has started retaining fluid in places it shouldn't. Perhaps your socks leave deep, indented rings around your ankles by evening, or your fingers feel swollen and stiff when you try to make a fist in the morning. At the exact same time, you might feel a constant dry thirst that never seems to go away, no matter how many glasses of tap water you drink. This is a classic sign of kidney fatigue and cellular congestion. As the years pass, our kidneys, the twin filtration systems designed by God to wash our blood and balance our internal fluids, can become sluggish and overburdened with metabolic acids, heavy metals, and the residues of pharmaceutical drugs. When your kidneys slow down, they fail to regulate the delicate balance of sodium and potassium, leaving your cells physically dehydrated while fluid pools uselessly in your lower tissues. To restore this vital filtration system and unlock true, deep tissue hydration, we must turn to an ancient, deep-growing root celebrated for centuries in biblical agriculture and traditional European medicine, chicory root. Chicory is a rugged, resilient plant that pushes its thick taproot deep into the earth to draw up a rich treasury of minerals, including potassium, calcium, and magnesium. But the true, hidden miracle of chicory root lies in its incredibly high concentration of inulin, a unique prebiotic-soluble fiber. Inulin is not digested by your stomach. Instead, it travels intact to your lower digestive tract, where it serves as premium fuel for your beneficial gut microbiome. Modern clinical research has revealed a profound biological connection known as the gut-kidney axis. When you nourish your gut bacteria with the prebiotic fibers in chicory root, you dramatically reduce systemic inflammation and prevent toxic metabolic waste from leaking into your bloodstream. This significantly lightens the filtration workload on your tired kidneys. Furthermore, chicory root acts as a gentle, non-irritating herbal diuretic. It helps your kidneys smoothly flush out accumulated uric acid and excess fluid retention without stripping your body of vital potassium, the exact cellular mistake made by synthetic water pills. Traditional biblical-era communities used chicory as a bitter salad green and roasted the root as a restorative, caffeine-free tonic during times of fatigue and digestive distress. It was recognized as a powerful liver and kidney purifier that cleared the blood and restored a youthful lightness to the limbs. To bring this ancient remedy into your daily routine, enjoy roasted chicory root as a warm, earthy beverage in the afternoon. It carries a rich, dark, slightly bitter flavor that closely resembles coffee, but with a deeply soothing effect on your kidneys and digestive tract. As you drink it, you are helping your kidneys wash away decades of cellular debris, clearing the path for vital electrolytes to flow freely and reviving the natural, energetic stamina that God designed your body to enjoy. 10. Watercress, the deep tissue alkaline cleanser. As we enter the 10th column of our sacred sanctuary of recovery, we must confront the final bodily mechanism that holds your stamina hostage as you age: systemic cellular acidosis and chronic low-grade tissue inflammation. If you are navigating your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you know the feeling of a body that feels heavy, acidic, and slow to heal. Your muscles burn for days after minor physical work, your breath feels shallow, and a toxic, acidic sluggishness seems to settle in your joints. This is because over decades, metabolic waste, high-stress lifestyles, and processed diets dump acidic residues into your interstitial fluids. Your cells become starved of oxygen because they are literally drowning in their own waste. To lift this physical burden, your body does not need synthetic anti-inflammatories that erode your stomach lining. It needs the most nutritionally complete, highly alkaline, deep tissue cleanser growing on this planet: watercress. Watercress is a peppery, aquatic, leafy green that grows naturally in clean, free-flowing spring waters. In ancient times, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, built his very first hospital next to a running stream so he could harvest fresh watercress daily to treat his patients' blood disorders, inflammatory fatigue, and physical wasting. What makes watercress the ultimate alkaline hydration champion is its unparalleled density of organic potassium, calcium, and magnesium. But the true hidden power of watercress lies in its massive concentration of dietary nitrates and phenylethyl isothiocyanate, PEITC. These active compounds act as molecular sweepers inside your blood vessels and deep tissues. They trigger your cells to release accumulated acidic waste, dramatically increase oxygen delivery to your mitochondria, and flush out systemic inflammation. Modern clinical research has verified this ancient Greek wisdom, documenting that watercress possesses the highest nutrient density score of any vegetable on Earth, outranking spinach, kale, and broccoli. Consuming watercress is like turning on a high-pressure fresh water line inside your tissues. It neutralizes systemic acidity, washes away cellular rust, and floods your muscles with the clean, highly alkaline minerals required to stop age-related fatigue in its tracks. Enjoy watercress fresh in salads, gently wilted in broths, or blended into your green morning tonics. You are not just eating a salad green, you are cleansing your temple with God's ultimate living water purifier. We have journeyed together through the ancient sacred pantry of God's pharmacy, uncovering the profound biological keys to cellular hydration, muscular strength, and lasting endurance. The modern supplement industry wants you to believe that your physical recovery must come from a synthetic laboratory, bottled in chemical packaging with artificial dyes and isolated minerals. But every resilient generation that worked under the sun, the biblical patriarchs, the desert travelers, the ancient Mediterranean farmers, reclaimed their physical power through the soil. Let this be your definitive daily blueprint for stopping age-related fatigue. Restore your cellular circulation and nitric oxide. Lean on the vibrant crimson juices of pomegranate and the vascular softening leaves of hibiscus. Smooth your joints and rebuild your synovial shield. Infuse your tissues daily with the deep silica-rich mineral matrix of nettle leaf. Decongest your filter organs for pure assimilation. Cleanse your liver and kidneys with the bitter potassium-retaining roots of dandelion and chicory. Recharge your mitochondrial power generators. Revitalize your cellular energy with the enzyme-dense green juice of barley grass and the metal-clearing power of cilantro. Fuel your muscles with clean, sacred glycogen. Replenish your strength after a long, active day with the wilderness-proven carbohydrate energy of figs. Your body was not designed to dry up, stiffen, and slowly decay under the weight of synthetic chemicals. It was built to run on living, whole foods that your cells recognize at a genetic level. Step away from the processed powders and chemical sports drinks. Return to the garden, embrace the ancient wisdom of the scriptures, and watch your physical temple rise up with the flexible, vibrant, and unstoppable energy of your youth.